At the beginning of the movie we have a man named Jake. Let's see the one named Storage 24. He used to work in the storage warehouse every day, just like doing his job. That suddenly, all were scared of the sound of a loud bang when we. Let's see that the nearby building is tremendous. The smoke was coming out and the flying news came. It was that there was a bomb blast here, but then a supervisor went out and went to see. It was found that a plane engine on his car. The crash had caused his car to collapse. All the slaw of the warehouse was done. Riding doors were closing themselves again. We see that Lucy is near the warehouse. A woman named was turning her dog. So suddenly his eyes crashed. He immediately fell on the rest of the pieces, calling a friend and saying that on TV. Seeing the news, tell me what happened in the city. During this time, his dog suddenly ran away. Lucy reached the container behind her. Go and see a strange bit around there. The white liquid was scattered, but then his dog ran inside and he, seeing that cool look towards a dark area, suddenly he was scared badly. He ran away to the darkness and after the forces, the voice of making him badly started coming and Lucy understood that her dog, on the other hand, we have died. Seeing a man named Charlie in the area, are those who have storage with their friend Mark? 24 was going to be Charlie's recent style. There was a breakup from a girl named. That was why he was very upset. He heard the news on the radio that Central London's a military plane crashed in the area. It was said that someone in that plane, very intelligent and dangerous thing, was well traffic. After a few hours of being trapped in, Charlie and Mark reached Storage 24, and then they went to the door and found out that warehouse door a few hours ago. You were often inside one named Bob. The mechanic was trying to fix him. In a while, through a tool, emergency door opened, causing Mark and Charlie came in and boss doors there, went out of but this switch is longer. Do not rest and soon the door itself again. Then Bob told Jake that he has to fix the emergency system. Otherwise by then no one without his help will not be able to go out of the door or in now. Jake brought Bob to the basement where Bob see that the lid of the ventilation duct is broken. He did not think much but only then he was away. Strange voices were heard from and he asked who was here but from the other side. No answer came. Now he slowly forward. Increasingly, each light took place and suddenly from behind, Jake came and scared him. The circuit box went back by showing it. Style on the third floor your friend Nikki and her stuff with her boyfriend Chris. It was folded that only then Charlie and Mark. Seeing him, Style said that he had already told her by texting that she is going to come at this time so that both of them, Charlie, just do not have to meet each other. He wanted to know that after all his breakup, why did it happen? And then suddenly the light went away. On the other hand, Jake on his job was cursing and then he saw Bob. He went to the basement and saw that Bob was sitting on the stairs to go a little closer. But it was found that Bob had a deadly attack. And then suddenly a vast animal came in front of Jake. Seeing him, Jake was so scared that he immediately ran up and went to the basement. The door closed but the animals at the door. It was so strong that Jake understood that if he stayed here, he did not survive. That's why he ran away from there immediately. Charlie and Mark were to go out of the house. If you came to the door was closed. They voiced that there was someone but there. So nobody was there. Then Mark saw that the door fixing mechanic Bob's. The car was still outside. He rode on the van. Tried to call the number but there were no signals in the phone. Then suddenly out. Chris heard the sound of someone shouting. So he immediately came to see the hall once. When the light went again, he called his phone. Flash used and up to a room. Arrived whose door was a little open. As soon as he went in, he was completely scared. Because the scary pooches were standing in front of him. Then suddenly a puppet began to speak. Then Becca was left but soon he realized. It happened that this puppet was not Jake badly. He was scared and he was saying this again and again. That before he arrives as soon as possible. You have to get out of here or else no one survives. We'll find before Chris says something suddenly. A horrifying hand up Jake with him. Then suddenly pulled into the whole building. In the terrible way of a dangerous animal. Mark heard the sound of Gurn then the Style. Asked to stop there and see himself out. At the same moment Charlie also came there and he asked where the Style is. Only when the Style is her clothes came out of the room while fixing in it. Seeing the ground under Charlie's feet, he understood that Mark and Style affair. Running in anger, he called Mark. Strong Mucka Damara Style made them. Tried to stop but on Charlie's head. The blood was riding on Styles apologizing to him. He admitted that he had been cheating on him for a long time. Charlie is going to hide his terrors. This move of Charlie went away quietly. Seeing Nikki did not even like it and Charlie went to calm down as soon as he puppets. If you go through the room with someone, the voice was heard and to see that. Where is the sound coming from entered the room. Then Nikki's eye fell on Chris, who was crouching in the corner and sitting numb like a pupil. Nikki was upset and asked him what happened when Chris raised his head. Nikki saw that she was heard. Nikki immediately started to clean the blood, but only then another drop. It fell there, and now they saw that blood was dripping from the roof. Charlie had Chris's. Looked up with the help of the phone's flash, but there was nothing like that, but he would say so. As soon as Jack suddenly came in front of him, his face was badly cut, and he said anything. Charlie was not able to see it. Suddenly fell down, and Nikki was also nervous. Mark and Style came out of the room. On the go, the puppets arrived in the room. Charlie told them that Jack was deadly. The attack has happened, and now he is in a bad condition. Then Chris did not think that he was all. On the other hand, we see that a middle-aged man suddenly Nikki, hearing his screams, caught from behind. Everyone else also reached there, and Style that man hit back and make him unconscious. Nikki said that maybe this guy is everyone, threatening damage, but then after searching, they came to know that no weapon other than a toothbrush. Well, all of them together tied that man, and later when he regained consciousness, nothing big like crazy. His name was David, and he was confused that all these people work for his wife Mary. Then Nikki realized that this man's brain balance is not good, but it was not even a crime, actually David, since his divers, his wife, Storage 24 to avoid Mary's lawyers. At the same moment, everyone was hiding in cabby. Again heard the sound of an animal's gurning, as if someone was present in ventilation ducts. Charlie asked Nikki to close the cabbies. Said, and the light went off as soon as the door was closed. Suddenly from outside, in a tremendous way, the door started to beat when Chris badly panicked and said that the animal was alive. Will not leave as soon as the door breaks out. Runs in the corridor, but by then the savage animal, Chris had followed him to hide. Tried a lot, but in the end the animal, he found the monster that Chris come closer and listened to the beats of his heart. Tried, and then in the same shock his heart took out the chest, and on the other side, David has the rest of the group. Told that only his only cabby. This juxtaposition could be locked from the inside. Mary had to escape now, all of them. David's arriving at the cabinet floor, but David was right. The key was not getting around. They are getting the sounds of that dangerous animal. It was so that everyone was very scared that David quickly asked to open the door. David and nervous, suddenly the monster from a distance only saw them, but at the time David opened the door and before the monster arrived, everybody got in. Now he's for a while. They were safe, so they planned ahead. The thought of making everyone saw that a wall just full of TVS. Then David told that since the plane crash, the government was constantly watching the news so far. The area of central London was sealed, and to deal with the danger born here, tanks are being sent up, but this thing, what is killing them? Is this someone? Do not know. Then David said that the animal of the world is not sure that this is definitely an alien that is through the plane, was being taken somewhere, and that's why this plane crash be taken so seriously. Then Mark told them all that people will listen to this crazy man, but someone did not pay attention to that because all of them, he had seen the animal with his eyes now. Charlie said how to do them. You have to get out of here as soon as possible. Remember that when he came in from the door, Bob opened the door with the help of a device. Then David said that the Bob system is fine. Must have been in the basement too. If he finds Bob or his stuff, he open the door and go out, but it was a problem in the plan that they had 5 floor will go down, and on the way, the animal can be anywhere apart from that. From a floor through ventilation system, cannot go to the 2nd floor, and neither they had a weapon. Then David said that maybe someone in the cabby of the rest work can be found. So much of David's time, it was the advantage of staying here from that air. Knows to enter a cabbies through ducts. Was now by the way he told Charlie, and Mark entered the air ducts for a while. After Mark suddenly Shelley and his affair started talking about, but Charlie stopping that there is talk of life here. We both have to work together. After this he soon entered a cabby, and something in the boxes there. They started to find out how many they did not know. Cabbies sifted were they. The strange things were found, but the work of them, nothing was well in the end. Knife, walkie-talkies, crackers, and an iron. Sorry I got, and he got back with this stuff. Suddenly they got the voice of Gura. He stopped then again as soon as the voice stopped. But then suddenly around Charlie, the monster attacked the air ducts from outside. They started moving fast. Tried, but the monster came very close. As the path reached the top, and he, bag of things collected from Charlie, asked before he got Charlie up. Suddenly the attack started again, and the monster's fingers started coming inside the duct, leaving Mark Charlie to die there. David came back to save his life. Returning most said that he saved Charlie. He tried very hard, but he was not the monster. Could stop the grief of Charlie's death for some time by making it now to go to the 4 basements. On the other hand, we see that actually Charlie escaped the clutches of the monster. It turned out to be a cabinda. He see that the box is filled with toys. It was only when he was close to that savage animal. If the voices were heard, then the cab door broke out, but the monster is already. Hall was waiting for him, and now Charlie had no way to escape. That's why he put a teddy in front of him. Seeing him, the monster teddies in a single moment. During this time, suddenly a dog toy automatically turn on and speak. And seeing such a strange dog, the monster too. A little square took advantage of his surprise. Charlie ran away after seeing the opportunity and ran away. Running suddenly hit the route when everyone else. He saw that Charlie was alive.